And if after all of that you still have clothes to sell, you must have a huge wardrobe. But Good morning guys, hope you're fab. Welcome along to this week's video about 5 places that you can sell your clothes in order to make money, and that is very much dependent on the level of effort that you want to put into selling them. But before we kick off on that video, there is an actual reason why I am choosing to do my video on this week, and that is because it is National Recycling Week coming up at the end of September, and Timpanys, if you follow us on Instagram, you'll know that we're a massive advocate of recycling your clothes. So we've got a few things on that I just quickly wanted to mention before we kick off the video. Eileen Fisher, the fashion designer, actually stated that the fashion industry is the second largest polluter in the world after oil. And Denmark's Ministry of Environment actually stated that our £1 Primark t-shirts actually cost the environment £3.40 by the time that you've considered manufacturing of the synthetics or the farming of the cotton and the manufacturing process, the shipping from China to the UK, and then the disposal of the item, where so much of our clothing goes to landfill. It actually ends up costing the environment 3.4 times more than we actually pay for the item to start with. So anyway, that's my little fat bombing over with, but essentially all I want to do is actually make recycling fun, because it is. I absolutely love it. I've got a passion for it. I love finding a bargain, which you do when you buy pre-owned. And for National Recycling Week, we are offering you a 20% off voucher when you bring in 5 items or more into our store to sell. So that's from the 25th of September to the 1st of October. And then we're actually having a Wise Up to Waste brunch, which will actually be a lot more glamorous than it sounds. We're gonna have champagne, we're gonna have beautiful organic food, there'll be goodie bags, and also we'll have a stylist. So you can bring an old item that you don't know how to wear, and she can tell you how to breathe new life into it. And that brunch will be on the 7th of October, and it will be in store. And I'd love to invite you to join in with all or any of that. So pop those dates in your diary and sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the video. So guys, now I'm going to share with you my 5 favourite places to sell clothes depending on the amount of effort that you or I want to put in order to sell them. Number 1 is online marketplaces. So you've got peer-to-peer selling with something like PayPal in the middle. What you do is you take a picture of your item, you write the description, you charge for postage, you say how long you're going to take before you post it and how you're going to post it, and then Bob's your uncle, off it goes, and it's listed for a week. You then get charged a commission on the amount that the item sells for. Now let's stick with eBay, but also I personally love Depop. I prefer that kind of way of shopping in an Instagram style. I think these marketplaces are absolutely great if you're selling a few items. So if you haven't just done a whole wardrobe, because for me that is just too labor intensive. So firstly, if you're just selling a few items, and also if you're not selling anything that's too uber expensive, I tend to sell high street items on there, or anything up to say the couples, something like that. I wouldn't choose to sell anything of great expense on there. A few tips when you are selling on those marketplaces, and this is why it is slightly labor intensive, because you always get the most money if you style the item. So you need to put the item on, you need to get your husband, boyfriend, best friend to take a photo of you in said item, and you need to really kind of give a great description and sell it. So it is quite labor intensive, but if you've got the time and the inclination, you can most definitely recoup some money. The second place that you can sell your items is at a consignment store or a dress agency, as they're called in the UK. I own one of those, so I know exactly how it works. I have my clients literally drive up, drop off and leave all in about 10 seconds, or we actually offer home collections as well. We handle everything in terms of the pricing, advertising, photography, shipping, shipping, all of that jazz. It's very, very low effort on behalf of the client. So something like that may well suit you if you've got a lot of high-end designer items to sell and you just cannot be bothered to list them all on an online marketplace. Something you do want to consider is the fact that we do take a commission. Now, our commission varies depending on the item that you sell, and each store is different, so you would want to call up and find out what commissions that store takes. We take from 30% to 50% depending what you're selling. So that is option number 2. The third place that you can sell your clothing is at a car boot sale. Now, my girlfriends and I, every other year, we hop in our minis, pile our cars full of stuff that we can't be bothered to put on eBay, or we think it wouldn't sell, or we've tried and it's failed to sell, and we head to our local car boot. Now, a few things to look out for at a car boot. Number one, you do have to pay to go, so it's about £10 where we go, but it does depend, so double check. It does start incredibly early in the morning, so it is a large amount of effort for not much return a lot of the time. Naturally, most of them are outside, so do be careful of the weather. When you first pull up to a car boot as well, the first time I did it, I found it very disconcerting because people actually surrounded the car to find out what you had, and I found that really intimidating. It's just something to watch out for if you've not done one before. Now, what would you sell at a car boot? Car boots, I think, are good for just selling en masse for cheap and getting it gone. Sort of lower end stuff, you're looking probably to get £1 to £10 for things varying from Topshop really up to like Couples and things like that. You're not going to get that much. People go to car boots to find absolute bargains. So really, you're not going to walk away probably with much more than £100 to £200 if you're lucky. The fourth way is a little bit of a cheat, sorry, but it's something called swishing. And do you know what? I haven't even tried it, but people have been talking about it. Essentially, you go to a swish and you take the items of clothing that you're willing to swish, and you get given tokens in return, and then you use those tokens to purchase other pieces of clothing. So although strictly you're not selling your items, you are managing to exchange them for pieces that you would prefer, which is actually a really economical way to shop. Now, I'll link below a swishing website so you can go and find more information if something like that really tickles your fancy. I think it would be not that much effort and a lot of fun. And if after all of that you still have clothes to sell, you must have a huge wardrobe. But number 5 may be for you, and it's for real pieces that you just want to get rid of and you just wouldn't mind getting a little bit of cash for, and that is that you can get paid cash by weight. So you can take your items and they weigh them and they say, right, we're going to pay you, 50p per kilo or whatever, and you get given you a bit of cash and off you go. So they're my 5 different ways. I think, as I say, it very much depends on the amount of effort that you're willing to put in. If you're willing to put in a lot of effort, probably online marketplaces are for you. If you've got really expensive pieces that you want to sell, then probably dealing with an agent like myself is probably the safest way to go. And if you just want to have a laugh and a good day out, then either car booting or swishing, and final resort, go and get paid by the weight. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll be back same time next week. Have a wonderful and safe week. Bye.